guys, welcome back to Lost in My Library. My name is Kate. Today I am doing my an arc review of Legacy by Chris Coppell. If you see me looking down, I will be referencing my NetGalley review, making sure that I get everything that I wanted to speak about. So, this book, well, let's get this out of the way. I want to first huge thank you to Troubadour Books. Even though I didn't like this book all that much, I ended up giving it a 2-star rating. I still appreciate you giving me a chance to read this book. This was published back in April, but I didn't get access to it until I might have gotten it in April. I don't remember when I got this, to be honest. The description for this book says, Craig Edmonds and his young family are awoken at 2 a.m. by someone banging at their front door. On their doorstep, they find an unexpected delivery, a large crate with a generic label addressed to his family. Their remote house, the lateness of the hour, the unexpectedness of the delivery, something feels wrong to Craig, a sheriff in the high desert of southern Utah. It has taken him years to recover from the psychological trauma he'd undergone as an elite Marine sniper, but his life was now simple and complete. But then he opens the crate to discover an intricately carved wooden mirror. Now Craig must fight an enemy far worse than any he'd encountered in the Middle East. Only this time he is battling against time and the embodiment of evil in a desperate attempt to save his family. His mission will take him 25 years into the past and 6,000 miles from home in order to defeat the reanimation of a 16th century English witch in this spine-chilling time-traveling horror. Okay. There's one big thing that bothered me about this book, and it's not mentioned in this description, and that is the heavy influence of the Hopi. I looked up the pronunciation of this, and I'm seriously hoping that that's the correct pronunciation of the Hopi tribe, which resides in the in western Arizona. I looked at their mythology, I looked at their legends, and I struggled to find, there is mentions, they do have legends of witches, and they do have ceremonies, they do a lot of ceremonies, and they have a lot of traditions of ceremonies, so there are some things that match up, but the idea, and they're talking about this, where this creature is coming from in the 5th realm, but when you're talking from what I understand of the Hopi tribe, I did a little bit of research myself to see what exactly they believe in, what their beliefs, their traditional beliefs are, multitude of different things. They have an idea of 4 worlds. We're currently living in the 4th world. I will leave some links to things that I found in the description, and obviously I'm not going to be the one to tell it properly what's going on, because I'm not a part of the Hopi tribe. I felt very uncomfortable by the addition of the Hopi tribe, because this is a white man. He's never even lived. From his biography, he has not lived in Arizona, the part where the Hopi tribe is. So I feel like he might have just done some research, and and I don't know if I feel like, I don't know, it's a white man writing, including a lot of, well, there's not a whole lot of Hopi mythology included into it. There are some mentions, but when you talk about have a Hopi tribe main character named a Hope, and I looked up the pronunciation of that. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly as well. A Hope, when we first meet him, is actually racially profiled. There was an accident that happened, and a Hope was there looking at the scene. Well, actually, Craig, the other main character, who's mentioned in the description, he points him out specifically and kind of has a weird feeling about him, and I'm just like, oh, that's might just be racially profiling there. There's a lot of people that was surrounding the accident, and it was a car accident, so where two vehicles collided, so there wasn't really any reason to be suspicious of a Hope who was just there. That's where the trouble began. Actually, really, the trouble began when Chris Coppell, the author of this novel, decided to add a backstory to Craig. And you're like, Caitlin, Kate, listen. Why would adding a backstory? Because it means absolutely nothing. He had a terrible backstory. In the sense of really terrible things happened to him. And there was really no reason for him to tell us this story. It just seemed to be fleshing out the book, because the book's very short. So it feels like he's trying to flesh it out a little bit, make it a little bit longer. Because his backstory, besides the death of his parents, meant absolutely nothing to the rest of the story. So we find out that he was, his parents died, and then he was in a foster care facility, and that hired a pedophile as a child psychologist because they didn't look at his certificates and made sure he was who he says he was, and he had arrest warrants out for, there was so many things wrong with this foster care facility, and I don't know why this was included. There was really no reason for this to be included. So, trigger warnings for pedophilia, basically. And a slight mention, it is everything with Craig's backstory. There's actually not that much mention of Craig's military, not scenes that we see of him in the military, which makes me obviously most, if not all, of our veterans have PTSD from being in the military, and I would have liked to see some of that, but there wasn't hardly any of that. And the real reason that he's a sniper is that he could kill the creature in the end. So the creature actually has mythological background within the Hopi tribe, is from what I understand. There are creatures that will take life force. They're basically dead, but they live on the life force of living beings. And this one specifically, this is how the Hopi tribe had explained illness, it seemed like. So these different creatures could do different things. So this creature that they're talking about, Beth, she is taking, basically killing descendants of her. Uh, so she has to keep, her bloodline, at least one person in her bloodline alive so that there could be more. She feeds every 25 years. So Jenny, who is the wife of Craig, actually is the descendant of Beth, and that's where everything starts. So one massive problem I had in the very beginning, so this massive package shows up on their doorstep. This is a huge mirror. Like, we're talking ceiling to floor type mirror. It's huge. And it shows up in this large crate. And they just, at 2 o'clock in the morning, someone's banging at the door. They don't see who brought the package. They don't know who brought the package. They don't know where the mirror came from or anything. And they decide to bring the mirror into the house. The crate into the side of the house. They don't even open the crate until the morning. So they could have left it out on the front porch. They live in the middle of nowhere. And they mentioned it multiple times. The crime rate in this town that they live in is very low. And if somebody wanted to steal this ginormous mirror, it'd be very, 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 very difficult to actually steal this mirror. Why would they bring this crate into the house when they have no idea where it came from? And then they open it in the morning and find it's a mirror and decide to hang it up. And they mentioned that it basically would become a permanent fixture in the house. So why would you put something that is a permanent fixture to the house when you have no idea where it came from? Like, make it make sense. There's no logic behind it. There is zero logic behind this. And then Bia actually takes Jenny and kills her, basically. But Aho is a time walker, and he can go back on his timeline. So they go back 25 years to 1996. This is set in 2021. They go to 1996 to save Jenny's aunt who went missing. So they want to kill this thing. And apparently there is a organization that deals with killing these kind of monsters. I would have loved some more of that, because that sounds like Torchwood, Doctor Who kind of things. And I'm like, I want more of this. This is what I want. Because that opens a whole door of possibilities of different creatures and just different things that could be going on. So many more things. But no. We're focusing on Craig. And I wish we could have focused on the organization, because that's so cool. That's so cool. That basically sets him up to be able to kill Beth. And then he shoots and almost kills her, but actually he didn't kill her. She shows back up again in his timeline where Jenny's alive again, because they went before she died to a time before she died to save Jenny. And then Beth comes back and they actually kill Beth. And then the epilogue sets up for a sequel, because these all indigenous Australian Girl Scout group goes missing. And so now there's like, oh, there's another creature. Are we going to team up again? Are we going to do some more time walking and figure out this creature? That would be a very different mythology. So I'm wondering where this is wanting to go. Because it's going to be a Hod again, but it's not going to be the same indigenous tribe. And it's going to be an indigenous tribe on another continent. So, I don't know. The logic in this book it's not very logical. I would have liked to see more of the organization that is taking down these creatures. I think that would have been really cool. Characters were lacking. They were bland. They didn't really have that much substance to them. Craig could do everything. He had no struggles, really. He could do anything. The PTSD didn't really affect him all that much. So, they were bland. The intrigue had me in the beginning of like, okay, what are we going for here? With the mirror, are we portal dimension? What are we doing? But the intrigue kind of dipped down once I realized we weren't going to get more of this organization. Craig's backstory being needlessly, I don't know, if he was trying to make him more interesting than he was. I don't know. And again, I don't know how to feel about the Hopi mythology being used in this book. I don't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it. I feel conflicted of whether or not, because even like Dead End Drive that I gave 2 stars to, I put links to the Amazon page to find where you could buy it from. I don't know. I feel conflicted. I don't think I'm going to put the links to it. Maybe I can find some Hopi, something, I don't know, with the Hopi tribe that you could support rather than this book if you wanted to support. I don't know. I really, it's not blatantly racist, but I feel very weird about him taking indigenous. We've had so many stories of that white men have used of, taken this kind of things. I feel really weird about it, to be honest. And I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been my review for Legacy by Chris Coppell. Have you read it? What did you think about it? I hope to see you in my next video. Be a good cabbage. I love you guys.